Donald Trump was arraigned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts.
This case is an abomination. You know, it's obviously political. 7 years to try to come up with this case. They're just wrong on the law.
The only crime that Donald Trump is being prosecuted for is the crime of running for president.
Political persecution at the highest level.
They've quite frankly given up on trying to beat him at the polls. Either going to steal it or stop it by law firm.
A Democrat prosecutor elected on a Get Trump platform.
What's going on here is a disgusting disgrace. It is war on Trump, it is war on the Republican Party, and it is a war on the Republic.
This case is the weakest case I've seen in 60 years of teaching, practicing, and writing about criminal law.
And I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump.
This judge, I mean, you don't need a prosecutor if you have a judge like this. This judge is not on the level.
It's a terrible case, but the judge has been pretty much a rubber stamp on everything that Bragg has wanted to do.
They're perverting the system of justice. You know, that's where the danger lies. The corruption and subversion of our institutions by the left.
This is the Democrats' entire strategy, to confine President Trump to a dirty criminal courtroom and keep him off the campaign trail where he can bring his winning message to voters across this country.
New York has become a legal banana republic. They are so determined to get Donald Trump.
Look, convicting Donald Trump, that's all they have.
I think they have no cards, and they're depending upon Trump getting convicted.
That Trump train doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
The only verdict that matters is the verdict at the ballot box.
Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and today, so unfortunate, man. So unfortunate. You all heard Trump found guilty in the New York kangaroo court on 34 counts. 34 counts of what, you ask? We're all still trying to figure out. It's so unfortunate, man. I appreciate each and every one of you guys joining the stream early on today. And, you know, I just wanted to do this video, one, to show the new ad that was put out there that is fire. I wanted to start the video off like that. And then we'll get into some other commentary from some different folks, you know, around the media, specifically on the conservative side. And then we'll also hear from the prosecutor, Alvin Bragg. And I think we'll start the video off with him. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado, let's go.
Is the voice of the jury, and the jury has spoken. I did my job. Our job is to follow the facts and the law without fear or favor. And that's exactly what we did here. And what I feel is just gratitude to work alongside phenomenal public servants who do that each and every day in matters that you all write about and make the press, and in lots of matters that you don't. I did my job. We did our job. Many voices out there. The only voice that matters is the voice of the jury, and the jury has spoken.
So you seen that, you heard that. Alvin Bragg and his cronies behind him. You could see the guys in the back in their faces just looking like, what did we just do? What did we just do? This man said he did his job. I mean, he obviously did his job. He did exactly what he was told to do. He did exactly what he said he would do via his campaign. And, you know, it's just unfortunate here. But, you know, here on Twitter, Johnny Maga, shout out to him. You know, he says that lesser men would be physically sick right now, convicted on 34 felony counts, awaiting a possible prison sentence while facing unrelenting attacks on all fronts by a ruthless and merciless enemy with unlimited resources. Yet he remains unfazed, the greatest American to ever live. Shout out to Johnny Maga here, man. Shout out to him. And he's absolutely right. Trump came out like a boss. You could tell he was frustrated. You could tell he was disappointed in the jury's decision. But he came out like a man, said what he needed to say, and walked off. No questions being answered, you know, by him at that point. And we all know what time it is, man. We all see it. We are the country that we used to scoff at. We are the country that we used to look down upon. with the weaponization of the justice system on one of its own citizens, a political opponent of the current administration. This is so unfortunate, man. So disgusting. I'm still in shock, to be honest with you, and in utter disbelief. It's just ridiculous, man. It really is.
Meantime, what price does he pay politically, or does he not pay politically, as that appeals process, plays out, and he now calls to the American people to deliver their own verdict in November?
Well, I think that the American people will be struck by this, as we are all struck by it, in different ways. I, as a former prosecutor and a judge who knows the state courts and who knows the state law, I know that this is riddled with reversible error. I know that there was no basis to charge this crime, this alleged crime, and to resurrect dead misdemeanors based upon non-unanimous federal violations of the election law or of the tax law. So, I mean, you've got that, but there's also a gut punch to the criminal justice system in the United States. People realize we are no longer safe anymore, and it's because of the progressive left agenda of making sure that we don't keep people in jail. And, they're out there with 33 arrests, but, they're still assaulting people or violently attacking people down the street here. But now we've got one of the most famous individuals in the world, a former president of the United States, who can be taken down by a George Soros-funded prosecutor on a crime that doesn't exist, where not one person put his finger anywhere near that bookkeeping, and now they're going to return a verdict and say, oh, he's guilty, he's definitely guilty. This is a jury pool made out of 85 to 90% of the people are anti-Trump, not pro-anybody, anti-Trump. That's the jury pool. We knew it. We have a judge who wasn't picked out of the wheel or out of the drum, as all of us judges are. And he was a judge who was selected not just for the Trump organization, not just for the this case, but also for the another case that involves who was the guy who was the Bannon case as well. This is an anti-Trump judge, an anti-Trump prosecutor. America is going to respond to this. This is a gut punch. We want to see politicians fight. We don't want to see what they do in third world countries, to have one side start indicting and jailing the other side. This is not American. This is not who we are. And to see this happen before our eyes, when we know that this is not legitimate, when a defendant was not advised of the crimes that he was charged with. They don't even know what the crimes are until we get to the charge to the jury, as if the prosecution and the judge, with a wink and a nod, said, hey, I'll give you that old accomplice testimony. Even though we didn't charge Donald Trump with aiding and abetting anyone else, I'll throw it in as a matter of law. He's an accomplice. And I'll throw in those federal election violations. So they'll have to say, yeah, Donald Trump must have done it too. And I'll throw in a hooker and a guy who's a serial perjurer. This is lunacy. And I think that any red-blooded American who sees this is going to understand this isn't what we do to our political enemies. This is what they do in kangaroo courts and third world countries. God help America after what I've seen in the last few weeks.
Janine went off, and she's absolutely right. I said it earlier. These are the things that we see in third world countries. These are the things that we see in communist dictator-ran or dictator-led countries. This is the type of stuff that we see there. This is the type of stuff that, we thumb our nose at. This is the type of stuff that we laugh at, not necessarily laugh. This is the kind of stuff that we look at, from across the pond and say, man, I can't believe that's happening over there. It's so unfortunate, so disappointing, so disgusting to see what I've seen today, to hear what I've heard today. I would assume that, Trump and his lawyers, they're putting in appeals today. Obviously, there will be some form of sentencing, that will happen. I believe they have the date already set for July 11th. That's going to be interesting. We're talking about a city that, for the most part, locks no one up. But they're going to go after this guy. I would assume that this judge, they're going to try to throw the book at him. I would assume the full maximum of whatever they can give him. I don't even know what that is. 34 counts. This is outrageous, man. Out freaking rageous. Sad, man. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. It is crazy out here in these streets. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.